Hi and welcome back. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a running total column like this using our sample data. So the challenge here is we have transactional data that contains all the months, the respective months. So for instance, we have all the data for the month of January. We have a running total for that month. And then if there is another data for the month of Feb, then there will be another, or the running total will start on that month again. So that's the running total for Feb. So that's a challenge here. And we're going to do that inside the Power Query and in another workbook. So let's go to our workbook. Let's choose our workbook here. It's the same data. Let's load it. Choose any of my data and then go to Data tab from Table Range and OK. And then let's first change the type of the date. So choose the icon here and then choose just the date. So choose the date and then replace current. So that's it. Now the next step is to sort the date. That is important. So sort that ascending. Click the arrow and choose sort ascending. That's it. Now the next step is to make some grouping here using the name of the month. I'm going to use the name of the month just for grouping purposes. So I'm going to choose this date column here and then I'm going to add column and choose the date here. And then under the month, I'm going to choose name of the month and that's it. We have the name of the month. So I'm going to use that name of the month to group this data. Choose that column and go to Transform tab and then Group By. And then let's call it the group because this is a grouping. And then I'm going to choose all rows and OK. And that's it. We have the particular table for each month. So that's the table, the date, amount, and month. And then the next step is to add another column here per table pertaining to the index. We wanted to put some index on that. That will be used in our formula later on. So I'm going to add column for that. So add column and custom column. Let's just add column, custom column. And then it's going to add another column in our first table, the table on the top. So let's call it second group. And then I'm going to use table that add index column. And then let's say choose the group column, yes, and then comma. Inside that group column, I wanted to have a column name which is the row position because that's the role of this index later on in the list.accumulate formula that we'll be writing on. So let's call it row position and then I'm going to start with 0 because the Power Query starts the numbering with 0. So the first row is technically 0, the second row is 1 and so on. And then comma, the increment will be 1. So put 1 and then close it and then OK. So let's check it, the second group table. So there you have the row position column. So the next step is to extract the amount column in another column in our original table and make that as a list. Convert that into a list because we're going to use a list formula. So to do that, I'm going to add column and then custom column again. And then I'm going to say that this is the list and I'm going to use just call the second group or the group. I'm going to use the second group, choose that, and inside the second group extract the amount column in square bracket amount, and that's it. OK, so we have the list of the amount. That's what we needed in our formula. So to really have the formula, so that's the list, we wanted to have another column for that. I'm going to add column and then custom column and write the formula itself. And I'm going to call it as running total of list. just the list. So I'm going to use list.accumulate for that. So this is the formula for the running total. So list.accumulate, and then I'm going to choose the list as the list, and then comma, we're going to use the seed, which is 0. We're going to start with 0, and then comma, we will have accumulator for that. I'm going to use two variables for that. First one is I'm going to call it this row value. You can name it on your own. So comma, the second variable will be the next row value, and that's it. I'm going to turn it into a function, and I'm going to write go to symbol equal sign greater than sign, and then here I wanted to have this row value, that value, so declare that, and then use an ampersand, an end connector, because we wanted to create another list on that in curly bracket. That's a list, and I'm going to use the list.last. So whatever is the last value of this row value, which will start on the seed or the 0, whatever is the value of that, plus the next row value, that will be our formula. So close the list in curly bracket, and then also close parentheses to close the list.accumulate. So that's it. So the first row value is 0, the next row value here is 63. So we're gonna add the 2, and then later on it's gonna create a loop, 63 plus 129, and then whatever the value on that, it will be added on 187, and so on. And then close it. Close the list.accumulate, and that's it. We have the running total here, started with 0 as the seed, 63, 192, 379. That's the running total of this list. And that's it. Now let's expand our original data. So let's choose our second group column here, and then expand that. Click the double arrow here in the second group, and then uncheck the use original column name as prefix. Okay, and that's our data. So the missing column is the running total itself, not the list, but the running total with the value. So I'm gonna pull this value here in the running total of list, and to do that I'm gonna add column and then custom column. This is the final column, and I'm gonna call it as the running total. It's the final running total, and I'm gonna say that please extract the value under the running total of list. So here, choose that, and then not the whole list, but a specific row. So a row here is a curly bracket. We're going to start with 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or so, and so on. But to make it dynamic, we're going to use the row position that we have, the index that we created. So in square bracket, that's a column. Let's call row position, and then close the row in curly bracket, and that's it. Click OK, and that's it. That is, there is a mistake here because we haven't removed yet the 0 value or the seed. So let me go back to our formula, the added custom tool. Let's double click that and remove the seed. And to remove that, let's use the list.skip. So wrap the whole list.accumulate in the list.skip formula. Close parenthesis, OK. Just wrap it. And let's check it. That's it. There is no more 0 value here for the seed. Let's go back to the last step, added custom 3, and there you have it, the running total column. So what we need here is just the original value or data. That's the date. So choose the date, and then also the amount and the running total column. So that's what we needed. Right click any of that, and I will be right clicking the running total, then remove other columns, and that's it. That's our report. That's what we need, and I can load it to our spreadsheet. We can go to the home tab, close and load to, and then let's choose existing worksheet. Let's put it in here, and then let's just format it before we check it. So choose the date column here in our data, then choose format painter, and then click in the date column on our report. So let's check the data here. This is for easy reference for the date. And let's say that we have April 5 and we have a value of 20. Let's refresh the data. Data, refresh all. There you have it. The running total has been updated. Now let's add, let's say, next month, May 1, 2021. We have like 85. Refresh all. And that's it. It returns to another value. It's not being added because that's the first value of that month. So let's say we have a late transaction like February 10. Let's check it if it will work in this template. So let's say it's 35 and then refresh all. And there you have it. It's been added on Feb of February, month of February, and the running total has been updated. That's it, I'm finished here, I'm done. If you like this video, you can subscribe in my channel, click the subscribe button, and see you next time, and thanks.